It's the middle of the night. You are woken up because of your child's warm forehead and flushed cheeks. Your heart starts to race. You scramble for the thermometer, confirming what you already know: your child has a fever. Like most parents, your instinct might be to run to the medicine cabinet, grab that fever reducing medication. But what if you were taught wrong or incorrect, incomplete about what fevers really are? Do you know that fever reducing medications might actually prolong the illness in some cases? What if that elevated temperature isn't an enemy to be fought, but an intelligence in a healing response orchestrated by your child's brain and nervous system? One that's actually fighting an infection, activating and supercharging the rest of their immune system, and doing a very important job. Today we're going to completely reframe how you understand fevers, giving you both confidence and knowledge to support your child's natural healing abilities, rather than just suppressing and medicating them. Knowing how to handle a fever is something that many parents really struggle with. On one hand, you have the traditional pediatric and medical views, which continue to act like continual use of fever-reducing medications, antibiotics, amongst other things, is no big deal. But then on the other hand, you have that parental gut, or what we call common sense, that tells you that it's pretty normal for a kid to get sick and to have a fever here and there. And maybe we should just support their body naturally versus stopping or short-circuiting the way that the body is designed to work. Ultimately, how you handle these fevers really does play a crucial role in whether your child develops a strong and robust immune system, or they go down the road that's way too common these days that leaves them in a suppressed, dysfunctional, and weakened immune response over the course of time. Let's dive into the role of fevers that aids in fighting off an acute illness, helping them to develop a stronger immune system, and how to give some tips and strategies on how to support your child's immune system safely but also naturally. Fevers account for approximately 1 out of 3 pediatric office visits in this country. That's millions of worried parents each and every year running to doctors, oftentimes unnecessarily. And what's even more concerning than just this in that survey is that 1 out of those 3 parents reported giving their children a fever-reducing medication for a temperature below 104 degrees, which is not even technically a fever. This reveals a widespread misunderstanding about what fevers actually are and the role that they play in healing. Most parents are conditioned to view an elevation in temperature as dangerous, when in reality, research increasingly shows that a moderate fever is a beneficial part of their immune response, and it actually helps children recover faster, not slower, if they are properly supported. So let's first start with understanding what a fever really is from in a natural and neurological perspective. A fever is not simply an elevation of a temperature. It's a sophisticated neuroimmune response orchestrated by your child's brain and nervous system, specifically the hypothalamus, which acts as the body's thermostat. When your child's immune system detects a pathogen, like a virus or a bacteria, it releases a chemical called pyrogens, and that signals the hypothalamus to raise the body's temperature set point via prostaglandins. This creates a controlled, intentional increase in the body's temperature that is very different from the dangerous overheating that occurs in things like a heat stroke. From the neurological perspective, a fever is actually a sign that your child's nervous system is in a regulated state that is proper, and it activates a coordination of complex immune responses to eliminate that pathogen and to restore normal health. The powerful benefits of fevers are ones that parents really aren't aware of. A fever will inhibit pathogen growth because of many bacteria and viruses replicate optimally at the body's normal body temperature. Even a modest increase in temperature can show their reproduction and spread. Higher temperatures actually enhance the immune function by accelerating white blood cell production and improving their mobility and effectiveness. Research indicates that fevers increase the number of circulating neutrophils, which is a type of white blood cells. So there are factors that can throw fever and an immune system function off track. A child's fever patterns, whether they spike high fevers easily, struggle to develop a fever when fighting an infection, or have a prolonged low-grade fever, or even develop fevers when they really shouldn't. These are all indications of a dysfunction within their neuroimmune response. If your child's fever response is consistently excessive or suppressive, it also is a sign that there is an underlying nervous system dysfunction or a dysregulated neurological stance throwing things off track. This is often first triggered by early life stressors like prenatal stress, birth trauma, especially from interventions like forceps, vacuum extractions, or even cesarean sections. And frequently, it's from early use of antibiotics, which disrupts that normal biological fortress within the body's digestive system. Now, there are times where fevers do warrant medical attention. While fevers are generally beneficial, certain situations do require professional assistance. If a fever in an infant under 3 months, if it gets above 102 degrees in children 3 to 6 months old, or if there's a persistent fever above 102.2 for more than 2 days in children 6 months or under. Watch for accompanying signs like lethargy, difficulty breathing, severe headaches with stiffness in the neck, or refusal to drink leading to dehydration, or a rash that doesn't fade when pressed. Remembering that even these medical interventions are necessary at times, that doesn't invalidate the premise that fevers themselves are not beneficial. The goal is to approach them while understanding and recognizing situations that are truly requiring attention versus just running to your doctor for assistance. You've got to start to support your child's fever without suppressing it. Focus on things like hydration with room temperature water. Dilute electrolyte drinks without any artificial flavors. Use herbal teas for older children, or even homemade popsicles. Create a healing environment with extra rest, comfortable room temperature, lightweight clothing, using a blanket that can be easily removed. Consider tepid sponging, where lukewarm water is used on a child if it's uncomfortable, but also avoid cold baths, which can lead to shivering, which actually increases temperature even more. Get your child checked for subluxation and dysfunction of their nervous system if adjusted out of balance, because it helps to improve the efficiency of that communication within that nervous system and neurological immune response. From a neurological perspective, the support measures can really create an optimal environment for the vagus nerve and parasympathetic nervous system to function properly, leading to more effective fever patterns and recovering faster. Now, understanding fevers from a natural and neurological perspective really transform how we approach this common childhood experience. Rather than fearing fevers, we can recognize that they are evidence of a well-functioning neuroimmune response, and it's an intelligence that your body has. When we support them rather than suppress them, we honor the body's natural innate intelligence, which allows our children to be resilient and self-regulating in their immune response. At Maximize Chiropractic, my approach is to really focus on fevers in a simple approach. We support the body's natural designs and defenses, and we provide very safe and gentle adjustments to help rewire that neurological balance to get your body functioning and performing like it should, helping to build up and strengthen the immune response instead of short-circuiting and suppressing it with medications. Now, of course, there's going to be times when that fever really gets out of control, and your child will need to use medication many times where that intervention is very helpful. Thankfully, that it is available. But in a lot of situations, the body does not need that. The next time your child has a fever, remember that their nervous system and their immune system are working together in harmony to create a crucial environment that aids in killing off these pathogens and eliminating the sickness, because their immune systems are actually activated and they're getting stronger. By getting your child checked and adjusted, it aids in supporting them with natural immune system boosters. So this can really help as a side focus to make their bodies more resilient. Click on the link in my bio to learn more about supporting your child's nervous system and fever naturally, so that they don't have to struggle with chronic illness And that acute treatment can really help, and you don't have to run for the medications this time. There are times when fevers do warrant medical attention. Very important to know when this is. While fevers are generally beneficial, certain situations require medical care. Any fever in an infant under 3 months, number one. Fever above 102 in children 3 to 6 months, or a persistent fever above 102 degrees for more than 2 days in children over 6 months. Now you want to watch for accompanying signs like lethargy, difficulty breathing added in there.